BMW M3, everything you need to know. Hello and welcome back to MIA Luxury Cars. For today's video, we will be going to talk about BMW M3, everything you need to know. Let's get started. This is everything you need to know to get up to speed on the BMW M3. In the early 80s, Mercedes upended the German racing scene when they turned their little 190 compact sedan into a monster. Even with a detuned Cosworth engine, the updated 190e 2.3216, somebody decided that was a good name for a car. Absolutely obliterated speed and endurance records and made Mercedes the go-to badge for the prestigious DTM race series. This was a homegrown German series, and all the major German manufacturers wanted to win it both as a way to make their brand stand out. So when the new Mercedes seized the DTM crown, the BMW stood up. BMW CEO Eberhard Kuenheim decided they needed to put a cooler engine into their 3 Series if they ever wanted to win the DTM again. But who could do such a thing? Well, it turns out BMW happened to have a motorsport division called M. For motorsport, that's how German they were. The M division only dealt with race-ready automobiles. Actually, Kuenheim only wanted a race truck-ready 3 Series that was capable of thrashing Mercedes on the truck. There was an issue though: homologation. The homologation regulations mandated that BMW build at least 5,000 copies of the vehicle in order to be eligible for the racing series it wished to compete in. The racing leagues preferred modified versions of street-legal vehicles on the production of track-only hypercars. They would have to make this new 3 Series available to the general public due to this requirement. BMW's sales department didn't think there'd be enough demand to justify a 5,000 unit production, but Mercedes's challenge would not stand. Kuenheim damned the torpedoes and just decided the greenlight production anyway, and so M was off to the races, quite literally. The first order of business was to build an engine, and as it turned out, Beamer's motorsport division knew a thing or two about building pretty good engines. They grabbed the 6-cylinder inline motor from their earlier M1 sports car, but found that it was too heavy for the little 3 Series. With the now 4-cylinder block, they threw in the rest of the parts and went from zero to working prototype in just 2 weeks. And M threw away all but 4 panels. Every single other part was resculpted to be more streamlined, efficient, and aerodynamic. Plus, M then returned the suspension and the throttle and the brakes. Basically, it was as far from the standard car as you could get while still claiming they were related. 1986 saw the creation of a BMW 3 Series with spaceflight in mind. The new car went like a bat out of hell on these straights and turned on a dime in the corners thanks to its new 200 horsepower straight 4 engine and steering adjusted by grandmasters of the Nürburgring. BMW undoubtedly aimed to produce a high-quality vehicle, but even they couldn't have predicted how excellent the finished product would be. The car just refined the art of being a car. There was no truly significant breakthrough here. Keep in mind that this is the business whose motorsports segment was named M. With that much ingenuity, they gave their M-designed 3 Series the name. The M3 did its job pretty damn well. It won a truckload of race trophies and against BMW's expectations. It actually sold all of its 5,000 production run. In fact, it sold another 5,000 on top of that, and then another 5,000, and then another 3,000. BMW couldn't believe that people actually liked an awesome car. Because of the unexpected popularity, the Bavarians made a few variations. versions, like the Evolution and Sport Evolution models, and they even made an M3 pickup truck. Seriously, granted it never went into mass production, but the M division kept the concept truck and used it for another 26 years. All told, the original M3 became the icon of its era and remains a hollow car to this day. Here's the thing though, that original E30 M3 was always meant to be a race car. It didn't have many features, the interior wasn't great, and it didn't exactly scream luxury. So when the time came to update the M3 to match the 90s 3 Series, Munich decided to make the car feel more like a proper BMW. The E36 M3 had a comfortable interior, a wide selection of standard equipment, and a much more understated design when it was first introduced in 1992. They replaced the two-cylinder that had been removed from the original engine, making the engine, despite its unamusing exterior, a straight 6 rocket on the inside. And what an engine it was, with 282 horsepower and 3 liters. It was the naturally aspirated vehicle with the best horsepower to liter ratio at that time. Unknown factors led to the US receiving a detuned version of the engine. The E36 is the M3 that determined the direction for all subsequent models, even though the original E30 may have a lot of aficionados' hearts. The next model, the E46 in 2000, was to the M3 what the M3 was to the M3 series. Not all that different, but perfect. Rocking the last naturally aspirated straight 6 in the line's history. It produced 338 horsepower, over 100 more than its predecessor. The E46 was the true juggernaut of the M3 range, with over 85,000 units sold worldwide. Remember when BMW didn't think they could sell 5,000? Road and Car magazine called it their favorite sports car of all time. Again, the E46 didn't invent a new technology. It just did the car well. Really, and the GTR version had a big stonking V8 engine in it. For the E90 model in 2007, BMW made the V8 the standard and only engine option for the M3. Midway through this generation's run, BMW refreshed it as the E92, which was exactly like the E90, only better and with a sedan variant. For some reason, the convertible got a whole new version number, and the E93 as the E93. But that's not what the people wanted. What the people really wanted was another M3 pickup truck, and they got one. BMW built another concept truck because apparently someone still thought this might be a good idea. In 2014, BMW updated the M3 to the F80, and with it split the brand in half. The new M3 was only available as a 4-door compact sedan. The 2-door coupe was spun off as a brand new Dodge, the M4. The new M3 returned to the good old straight 6, this time with 2 turbochargers. That's right, the ultimate driving machine, a pure distillation of driving excellence, has gone turbo, and electric steering too. Although purists didn't like the way these charges sounded, none of it affected the M3's aesthetic, because the F80, a 425 horsepower monster with a top speed of 174 mph, was regarded as another Munich classic when it was first produced, faster than a Tyrannosaurus Rex by over 3 times. The new M3 is still the monarch or queen of its class after all this time and 5 successive generations. The BMW M3 has demonstrated for 30 years that sometimes you don't have to develop the wheel from scratch. You just need to make the greatest wheel. The M3 doesn't have a single reason why it's the greatest. From the E30 on the racetrack to the F80 on the road. What have you learned about our topic? Please let me know by leaving a comment below. And if you enjoyed this video, please press the like button, turn on the notification bell, and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. Thank you for stopping by to watch. See you in our next video.